Good afternoon. Let's please call our meeting to order. Item 2, the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, adoption of the agenda.
If I may, can we have a moment of silence to honor those for the 9/11?
It's part of our agenda.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. A motion to adopt the agenda.
Romano adopts the agenda.
Van Sickle and Romano, please vote. Item number 4, the approval of minutes dated August the 20th, 2025.
Motion to approve. Support.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Grott and seconded by Lisa. Please vote.
Van Sickle, yes.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item 5, this is an opportunity of public participation. Anyone from the public wish to speak anything that's on the agenda for today? Anyone from the public? From the public? From the public, we will close public participation. Thank you very much. Item 6A, full board approval resolution of the committee waiver to Government Oversight Committee. This is their proclamation. Commissioner Van Sickle.
Do you want me to speak to this?
Yes.
Yeah. A number of years ago, Judge Warren, who is a Oakland County judge, and his daughter Leah started Patriot Week, and it's to promote patriotism across the board. They have many activities in Patriot Week, which is September 11th through September 17th, so it's starting this week. I encourage you to go to patriotweek.org and view the variety of activities they have going on. And we've done, I don't know how many years, but this is quite a few years we've been doing a proclamation recognizing Patriot Week. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we vote on this, let's have a moment of silence, please, for 9/11. Thank you. Please vote.
Motion to recommend to full board.
Support.
Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Item 7, public participation committee regarding department recommendations. I'm not going to combine A, B, C, and D together. I'm going to separate. And Brian, can you talk to us about?
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I know, I'm just reading here, I believe we're going to take a picture with the proclamation after it was adopted.
Okay.
Brian, you feel like you're going back and forth?
What's it on, Brian?
As they say in the military, please stand fast.
Sit by you again? Is this a proclamation?
Where's Lisa?
Right here.
Staying close.
Okay.
Watch her.
Okay.
I think she's harassing me. Thank you.
I was in third grade in 2001. What grade were you in?
I was working at the Renaissance Center when we evacuated. I was on Channel 4 News as one of the first GM employees out of the building. I told my whole staff.
Now with the chair's approval, I'm going to continue with 7A. 7A, this is a contract with D&S Contractors, construction services for Rose Comet Building for the second and third floor improvements. Brian, can you explain the necessity and the urgency of this?
Yes, for sure.
Motion to refer to full board.
Support. Excuse me, this is requested for full board
Or
approval.
thank you very much, then. You're right.
Yes, thank you, Commissioners, and thank you for considering this for full board approval today at this committee. I was attempting to get this project on for last public service. It was late in the queue, and there was a little bit of a mix-up on our staff's end as far as this project moving forward and what was required for the submittal. We had a recommendation from our architectural design firm, and we went through with the RFQ process. We interviewed a couple candidates, contractors, and got a request from the architectural firm as far as a recommendation for the same contractor that we actually had for the first floor renovations, as well as the COMTEC side also got renovations during that time, also front lobby area. In addition to that, that's where we moved our permits department from the back of our building to the front lobby portion that made more sense functionality-wise. So this is kind of a continuation project for our renovation of the administration building for the road department for the second and third floors, doing the same type of updating, floors, painting, redoing the bathrooms, doing some new countertops, refacing some cupboards, making some new office space that's necessary and needed on the second floor and third floor for our engineering department and for our traffic department. So we were, and some of my staff were under the impression, this original project for the first floor renovations ran through the county because there was county work done in addition to that. Purchasing department in this one thought that that was running through F&O, and in fact was not. It was running through our purchasing department. So there was a little disconnect on our end as far as that moving forward with the required contract that was late to the ball game as far as getting to you. So the AII contract that is seeking approval for D&S Contractors was submitted in less than a timely fashion. But we do have our contractor ready to go next week. We pushed them off a few weeks as a result of the delay in the approval. But we do have pods. We do have a moving company that has already moved our staff. So we've had staff relocated in our building currently. And the contract's looking at getting to work next week. And we have people displaced right now in different parts of our building. And we have furniture that's totally vacated from the second floor, which is the first floor we're doing. Once the second floor is finished, we will move our staff back onto the second floor, do the same effort on the third floor, move our staff out, relocate, move the furniture out, and let the contractor do renovations on the third floor. So this is a project in the total amount of $1,171,307 and seeking approval today for that contract with DNS. Once again, it is the same contract that we were very happy with on the first floor renovations. Great contractor to work with. Interviewed them. They were actually the low bidder anyways, but it was an RFQ. So we did vet them with the second low bidder. Very qualified firm also, but opted to go with DNS Contractors as far as the recommended contractor for our project again. So seeking approval.
Commissioner Hall, please.
Thank you, Chair. Brian, was this a budgeted amount, and in what budget was this in?
Yes, as part of we had it as part of our current budget, but with the numbers that came in, we had underestimated the cost. So as part of the budget amendment that I brought forward to you, that was a little confusing, but that was in that as far as the increase. So yes, it is budgeted. It was approved by the BOC previously as far as that goes. And I think it was 1.3 million total, and this project is significantly under that. So yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Goike?
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. Mr. Santo, what you guys did in the first floor is excellent. As a person that goes in to get permits, it's a lot easier than having to go in the back room and everything now, the way it was before. But my biggest concern is I didn't see nothing about HVAC. And I heard concerns about employees in there not being, the HVAC system doesn't work properly. Is that being addressed in this 1.1 million?
I don't have a number on HVAC updating. We are leaving that to the countywide capital improvement program and analysis that's being done through the county. We were looking at doing that independently as far as a road department analysis, and it was brought to our attention that the county is going to be doing a analysis, I believe, on the entire county as far as capital improvements. We don't want to have to wave a magic wand when, you know, we think we need a roof replacement at one of our service centers or a furnace replaced or parking lot done. We want to have a comprehensive analysis of all of our capital facilities to be able to better plan budget-wise for those needs and necessities. So
Well, I understand all that, Brian, but the fact of the matter, if there's an HVAC problem in the building now, and we're gonna be spending this much money, then we're gonna have to probably spend, you know, some of the new stuff that's being done may have to be taken back apart if we have to run new ducts and stuff then. Or, you know, a new unit on the roof, if it's just a replacement like for that, but with this open space design, if that's gonna make the HVAC better, or are we gonna have to spend this money, then we're gonna have to spend some more to get it actually fixed?
Commissioner, I don't see this renovation project and updating project being an issue with getting to the HVAC. We're doing nothing on the second and third floors as far as the ceiling or lighting.
Okay,
The lighting was already switched over to LEDs on the second and third floor. It was not on the first floor.
so there's no structural, just really major structural, just wall, interior walls.
Correct. The majority of this renovation project is flooring, painting, window treatments, blinds. Structurally, there are 3 offices added to the second floor in engineering and 3 offices added to the third floor in our traffic department with a conference room. This does not change structurally the ceiling units or the HVAC system. That is a standalone that will be looked at in the near future as far as need necessity. We do have a challenge, just like all buildings do, with sometimes heating and cooling. But that is something in our short-term vision of getting assessed, so we know what we're looking at, whether it's the rooftop units or something internal to the building itself, and getting a better analysis of that at that time.
Okay, because I was informed by a few employees about it, so, thank you.
We do have our challenges at
Mr.
times.
Chair.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lucido.
So I have a couple of questions. First of all, do you know what the approximate square footage is that you're doing? Because I know there's like floor plans in here, but I can't read them.
I could get that information to you. I don't know. It's a rectangle. I'm not sure the dimensions of the exact square footage.
All right, and then the second question is probably going to be more for our chair. The thing we approved yesterday through Plant Moran for for them to come out and access all of our buildings, is this building one of those buildings that they're going to be looking at?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay, because I'm just wondering if this is something that we should have waited until after that cost analysis was done by Plant Moran. So that's where my concern is. But no, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, Brian. So specifically with F&O, why is F&O not taking the lead on this project?
We had inquired to them previously, and because it's solely a Department of Roads facility and funding, they opted to kick it back to us as far as the F&O portion of it that was done before. So it was advertised by our staff through our purchasing department.
So if there's an issue in the future with what you do in that building, are you going to handle the problem, or are they?
I guess moving forward, there seems to be an invisible line sometimes as far as structures when it's related to the road department and county facilities. I know we've had previous discussions with the executive office and with F&O. F&O does assist us in kind of some emergency type situations when we have stuff that they can facilitate rather quickly, more of on a emergency needed basis. Other things we contract and get done through our staff and our forces. So
I know most of the work is primarily, like you said, flooring, painting, cosmetic type things. You're putting in a couple offices, or so. Based on all your staff and the space that you have, do you have enough space in that facility to meet all the demands of your staff? based on what you're doing right now with this project?
Yes, with our current layout and with the addition of additional office space, yes. For our current staff, we do have the accommodations of office space for who we have now,
Okay.
in staff-wise.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Chair.
Commissioner Zenner?
Thank you, Chair. Will you be acquiring more staff in the future, in the upcoming future, do you expect?
Yes, we will be looking to add staff, mostly external staff though. And that means inspectors, whether it's our senior inspectors, mid-level inspectors, or our testing capacity inspectors. We have a need for outside staff to increase due to the number of projects we have and the nature of our programs that we have. We're, as you know, looking to improve the number of dollars we spend in our annual programs, whether it be the sub-reconstruct program, our HMA or concrete pavement preservation program. So we're trying to bolster those year after year, but those are getting to a size where we need additional staff than a couple people to be in the field to oversee those projects because of the significant increase in costs that we're spending on those. So we can't split people in twos and threes. So we've been having a little bit of a challenge with staffing appropriately in the field, which is a request you'll see in the subsequent budget. But, so yes, we are looking at adding additional staff, mostly on the outside.
Macomb County. Staff from Macomb County then.
Yes, staff from Macomb County Department of Roads.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Kraft, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brian, the funding for this project, is it Act 51 dollars? Is it GF dollars?
It is part of our general fund and part of our MTF funds basically are the operational funds for the department annually. So this is coming from a combination of that and our general fund. So this is not seeking any bonds or loans or anything like that. So it would be coming from our funds as a road department.
Okay.
So-
As Commissioner Lucido mentioned earlier and Chair Sabatini, we just approved the space needs study yesterday. Some of this fits that bill perfectly. So I'm having a little bit of a hesitation here on spending 1.1 million. I understand what you're trying to do here. It's just the timing of it is what it is. And like you said, you tried to do it last month as well. And the timing just ran away. But I just have a hesitation on this because we are doing this massive study across the entire county, every facility. I mean, roads, CMH, everybody is going to get assessed in this. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I approve this today and you come back after the assessment and study and you want something else or something more, I may be more apt to vote no in the future just because you're telling us now, this is what you need, you're good to go. Do you feel comfortable, going ahead of this assessment and doing this now as opposed to holding off, waiting for the assessment and doing it later?
Yes, I do. I don't have any reservations about doing the more aesthetics and updating as far as the flooring, painting.
Sure.
Yes, we're adding a few more offices.
And I know that's minimal from what you're saying.
Correct. And the HVAC to me is a different animal as far as, what it's going to take to do that. We're not changing anything structurally that's going to affect the HVAC now. Okay. The new office space is minimal compared to the entire HVAC system that's going to have to be evaluated and looked at.
Sure. Gotcha. Thank you, Brian.
So thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Chair.
Great question.
Thank you. Back to Commissioner Sabatini.
Chair, I'll defer to Commissioner Howard. I don't think he spoke yet in the first round.
Just really to the chair, this building was specifically mentioned during our board meeting yesterday as part of the study. I think Commissioner Kraft kind of summed up some of my thoughts. I think if I remember correctly yesterday, they said the timeline was going to be pretty long for the study. And so if we delay this project for the study, what impact would that have? I guess that's my question for you. If we delay this for the study, what impact would that have on your ability to execute what we so desperately care about as roads in here in Macomb County?
That would not be a great thing for this project moving forward in our building. Once again, this is a cosmetic update. We do have a few structural items as far as office space, but that's minimal compared to the other intention of this project. I don't see that this being an issue moving forward. I'm not going to come back 2 years from now and say, hey, I need new painting and flooring and new blind treatments and new bathrooms, because that's what the intent and the purpose of this is, to upgrade minimal stuff. But that is the cost. I mean, unfortunately, it's over $1 million. But the other stuff, as far as HVAC and all that other stuff, that is a separate item and separate issue to our building, which needs to be looped into and looked at with the overall comprehensive analysis of the entire county and the structure of the county. So we will have to plan and program that in based on what that study represents as far as our assets, and how do we project that out for costs and budgeting. And that's what my finance director is looking forward to too, because she needs to be able to plan that out in the future also. We have planned for this, and it's cosmetic. The more structural stuff as far as HVAC is part of that assessment throughout the entire county. And that will not change this project with the outcome of that.
Last question. I know it's been a while since I did the tour. It's been a few months. This is really for, these levels are only really for where staff is going to be. That's not necessarily where public access will be. So like.
That's correct.
So the bathrooms, just making an assumption, are going to be ADA compliant and all those things.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
That's all. Thanks,
Thank
Chair.
you, Commissioner.
Okay, on the second round, Commissioner Sabatini.
Thank you, Chair. Brian, explain to me why this cannot wait until full board next week, why we have to approve it today.
Because we already pushed the contractor off a few weeks with their schedule, and they're looking to get in next week. We had our parking lot that was just recently redone. We had to hold off on pods being delivered to store our furniture, majority of our furniture from our office. So in conjunction with that, we pushed them off, had our parking lot redone, had pods delivered, and have our staff relocated in preparation for the contractor to start work. So the longer that we delay this, the more our staff is going to be displaced in temporary housing in our building, and that's not a preferred thing currently. So,
So if I understand your position, however, I'm looking at $1.1 million here in front of me, and I want to make sure that I'm making the right decision. So I guess my proposal, after just hearing what other commissioners have said, what I'd like to do is I'd like to move this to next week's full board. Unfortunately, that would displace your employees for a little bit of time, but I think that would give us enough time to talk with FNO and get their unbiased opinion as to this is what we should be doing moving forward, and I would have no problem supporting that. But today, I'm not going to support a full board approval, unfortunately.
if I can loop in that FNO, this is not a surprise to FNO. FNO is very well aware of our project and what we proposed. So they haven't been excluded. It's just they didn't put the advertisement out, and they didn't work with the architect directly as far as the contract. And that's what was missing from last month's public service meeting. So with all due respect, they were brought into the equation. They were aware of the renovations just as well as the first floor, but looking at doing the second and third floor, and got no pushback or no negative feedback on what we're doing for the second and third floor, just as we had done for the first floor. So, thank you, Commissioner.
Yep. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. Brian, do you capture the costs of the pods are what, those storage containers that?
Yes.
Do you capture the cost of the pods and how much the lost time that people had moving and all that? And do you capture that and apply it toward the price of the project?
Yes, the cost of the pods and the storage units that we have. Unfortunately, the pods that we did order were not sufficient space-wise, so we actually, lucky for us, we have a storage facility that's right next to our parcel on Grossbeck there.
So they're part of this project, though.
Yes.
Were they listed in this 1.1 mil that you're asking for?
I believe it'd be probably under contingencies, or I don't think there was a specific line item for pods, but it would be in the overall
In the future, I'd
cost.
like to see all the costs of a project listed with the project as opposed to, well, we spent a little bit over here and now we're coming for the big bucks.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
No other speakers?
I was pushing the button, it's not working. I have a question. For the first level remodel that you done it a year ago, 2 years ago,
It was completed last year, yes.
Okay. I know the answer, but I want the other commissioners also here because they probably not familiar. How much was spent, how the funding was?
That was a combined project between our side, which was the first floor of roads, the lobby, and then the first and second floor of the COMTEC facility. I believe our portion for the first floor was about $900,000 on our end.
Okay. I don't like the last minute full board approval. I know you prepare for that project for a while. How your staff is going to be able to function? Now it's the most busy season to finish all the project.
Like I said, it's not optimal. We relocated our staff to the first and third floors in various locations where we had space and availability. We do have them in some cubicles in different areas and some office space that was available currently. But obviously, they're most efficient and operational as a unit in one department, which they're displaced in various locations within our building, which is not optimal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Lucido.
Yeah, thank you. So just to clarify, so you already evacuated the second floor and removed all the employees out of the second floor?
We currently have all of the desks and furniture and filing cabinets vacated from the second floor. They're in storage containers, and we do have all of our staff located throughout our building on the first and third floor, correct?
You already rented the pods?
That is correct. We had to rent those in order to facilitate the moving of our furniture and files and all that stuff, which is a pretty monumental task when you look at a full floor of file cabinets and desks and chairs and tables and such.
Thank you. If I can just clarify too, before we vote on this, we can just clarify the motion, because there was some confusion. You made the motion, so we can just clarify the motion that's we're voting on. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Are you asking the chair to do that?
Well, you made the motion, so I wasn't sure what the motion
Back to the motions.
You said to recommend a full board, I don't know if it was amended, so I guess that's my question.
I do not believe it was amended,
Okay.
but I will withdraw my motion.
Who's the second?
I was the second, and I will agree with that.
Before we vote, Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you again.
The floor, though.
No?
I have one more question. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Brian, if this is pushed off another week to full board, what are the additional costs that come with that for maintaining the pods for another week? And whatever other costs may be incurred for that 1 week?
The contractor was receptive when I was given notice that this was going to be presented at the September 9th Finance Committee meeting for full board approval. Was made aware in an email not too long ago that it was being pushed to the public service on the 11th, which to me wasn't an issue until I found out that then it wasn't being fully approved at the 11th. It was going to be pushed another week. And as you know, our projects, in this one being a little bit different because it's an internal renovation project, but our projects don't always coincide with the monthly calendars, unfortunately, of the BOC in our public service meeting. So we do have on occasion a need to, whether it's a cost share or a contract for road work or bridge work or elsewise some traffic signals, we do have a need to expedite some of our contracts and proposals to you. It's the nature of what work we do. We have a shortened construction season, and weeks and months mean a lot to our industry and our costs and our scheduling. We have a lot to do in a little amount of time, and this is a renovation project, but if I wasn't confident in this project moving forward in the cost and or the consideration for the work, I wouldn't be standing up in front of you right now. So I think we have a good reputation as a road department of bringing things that make sense and can be explained very thoroughly. And I hope I have done that. So,
Commissioner Howard.
Mr. Chair, hold on. If I may.
Go ahead.
Thank you. So I guess what I'm getting at is if we do delay a week, I mean, pods are, I don't know, weekly, daily costs that go with that. And
It's a monthly cost, so if you go over by a day, you're paying a full month. So basically, you're probably looking at a full month of 3 storage pods plus 3 storage units, plus whatever time the contractor is looking. I didn't broach the subject with them because I was hopeful that it'd be approved today. But like I said, they were receptive to pushing off their start date a few weeks with the adjustment of time frame of approval. Another week, I haven't broached that subject. They were looking at getting started immediately after it was approved from last public service. That didn't happen, or full board, I should say. That didn't happen, and I'm here before you today to get full approval.
understood. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair. Now I'm done.
Okay, Commissioner Howard.
I think I think a lot of what you do is great. I think this project is kind of tough because it sounds like in many ways, at least is like the process has already been started on the project in regards of like moving and everything before. I had an issue with another thing that came up before us back in March where an organization was told that they were awarded the bid prior to us actually awarding the bid during our full board meeting. And I voted no on that because out of principle of how the process was handled. It's just really difficult because I don't want to set you back knowing like you do great work and the first floor was done very well. I think also my question, and this is for our finance chair, is say we don't do this project, if it does get denied today and or at full board, if this is needed and we wait for 6 months to 9 months, I mean, as somebody who works in the lumber industry and with sheetrock, I mean, we're seeing lumber costs go up by 200, like the price of, I don't think you're using black walnut, but the price for black walnut just tripled in a week. And that's significant. I bought lumber a week apart and the price tripled. So that's also the tough part is if we do delay this, when they purchase materials, the price could go up, which impacts, I know there's contingencies and stuff in the plan for that, but no one plans for 3x costs on a project. And right now with sheetrock also going up, I think sheetrock has doubled since March, and that's a significant price hike. So I'm struggling with this because it sounds like the project is already in motion before we voted on it, but also knowing that in regards to construction, a week is substantial when it comes to costs. So I just would like some input from one of you two on that.
I'll speak to that if I may, Chair. First of all, I don't think Brian's using black walnut. That's the first thing.
Praise God.
No, but if I can expand on what Commissioner Howard had just said, I mean, we do have some wood doors, not as many as the first floor renovations, but we have some wood doors as part of our new office space. And those are a lot longer lead time and do fluctuate cost-wise with every day.
My opinion of the matter, Commissioner Howard, I kind of spoke before about this, but yes, we did pass, space assessment yesterday, and it's moving to full board next week. I have no problem moving forward with this next Thursday at full board. It just gives me more time to do my due diligence with F&O to make sure that everything fits in the realm of what we're trying to accomplish with that space assessment study. This is no discredit to Brian and what he does, and this is certainly not a road project that we have a deadline on. I know he has moved forward, but to suffice me, I could tell you if there were any general fund dollars related to this rehab, I would vote no. This is within his budget, so I totally respect that this is what he wants to do with his budget, but it is also our building. And what I'm trying to do with the strategic plan is to adopt measures that we're working within our asset to make sure that everything is addressed for our employees and for our department. And it's just my double check, and that's all I'm asking for is a week to do that. And I think that's pretty fair. I think a contractor would understand it. I don't think our costs are going to skyrocket over a week. So that's just my opinion of the matter, but certainly you all have your votes, and you can vote in any which way you want. But that's just my opinion of the matter.
Yeah, just for point of order, Commissioner Hall withdrew his motion, so we currently don't have a motion on the floor for this item. So
There's still more speakers. We're going to go to Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. A couple things. We're always going to be facing with waiting to approve things. So we could always get cost increases or cost decreases either way. So I'm not particularly worried about that. The other thing is about going over a day and paying for another month. I haven't studied the schedule, but maybe the schedule is 2 weeks short of the month, and they went over 2 weeks and had to go another month, so going another third week in that last month isn't gonna cost anything extra because we already paid for it, not using it. Don't know what the schedule is, so, I don't think a week is necessarily going to do anything to us. So, also, I would really like to see F&O. I would like to see facilities and operations manage our facilities. Thank you.
Commissioner Gorky?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. And I'm kind of like to repeat the same thing as what Commissioner Howard was talking about. Coming from this field myself, the fact, I don't like the idea, you had a lot more lead time to bring it up to us, knowing that it was going to happen. It did make the facility a lot better on the work that was done on the first floor. I utilize that, like I said earlier. The fact that nobody's talking about, though, is the contractors. What are these guys supposed to do for a week? They just don't have, if they're scheduled now, and it's not our fault, but it's already started, are they going to go start another project and then just let that one sit for a while? Because those guys are they need to make their payroll. They got to do something. Those people have to work. And if they're scheduled to go to this project, what are they going to do for a week? So that's a major crisis about, it was in his budget, but it didn't come to us so that we could, balance between F&O and what you got to do. It's one downside that I'd, give you, Brian, on this is that, you had enough lead time where you should have brought it up to us quicker. And it is your busy season, so a lot of things going on. I'm willing to, myself, go with it, but eating it, but I would hope this is a lesson learned so that you give us come with a little more lead time on these inner projects. I agree with the project because I seen what it did, already. It's just that working with us a little bit more ahead of time is what I think should have happened.
And I don't disagree with that, Commissioner. As I stated and started with my information, it's on our end, and I don't deny that. But we don't make it a tendency, and I don't make it a tendency to bring things before you that are late or on our end, any holdups. If we get a state contract that's late, that we get late ballgame, that we can't control that. This we could have controlled. There was confusion between my staff in purchasing and F&O as far as the actual bid, the contract, that is on us, but tried to get it in a timely fashion. So it was in before the actual last meeting, so all the packet was together. So it's been a month or 3 weeks that the information has been to you. And I would have hoped that some due diligence as far as F&O, like I said, we incorporated F&O's discussions. We invited them to all the meetings, whether they chose to come or not, but they did not give us a response back that this was outside the purview of what the county in general is looking forward for as far as the assets of the capital improvement program and the update. So if there would have been a red flag from that, then they would have spoken up, and there was nothing of the sort. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Grant?
Brian, thank you, Chair. Do you have time frame, how fast the project can be wrapped up, finished? How long?
We are looking, I believe, for a Marchish completion of both floors. So hoping to
So
switch.
this is like whole winter project?
Yes, it is correct. So we're hoping to have the second floor done before the end of the year, switch over to the third floor, restaff the second floor, relocate the third floor staff, vacate the furniture, and start on the third floor, hopefully before the end of the year and then into next year with a Marchish scheduled or proposed completion date. Yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Bueno?
Yep, thank you. I know we've already discussed about the timing of this specific project and you've already owned that, but you made a comment about, sometimes there's contracts that come up pretty quick and, they need to be, addressed quicker than the monthly meetings that the BOC has. And so I guess I was looking for maybe some examples of that because I'm just trying to think, strategically, I would think that we're looking at projects more than a month at a time ahead.
Mhm.
It's at least a quarter at a minimum, but I would think even years ahead that we're knowing certain projects that are going to be happening or what we're going to be working on.
Yep, for sure. The lead time on our reconstruct projects or our major construction projects is probably 1.5 to 2 years. But by the time we get all of the boxes checked, get all the environmental assessments done, get all of the historical properties assessed, get the right-of-way purchased, that leaves us towards the end, which we submit our documentation, especially when it's state or federally funded, to the state. And we don't dictate the state schedule. They work at their own pace. So once it comes down to the end, we're at their mercy as far as getting those contracts and getting those approvals in hand. One of them is one of your packet items, which is the operations of CMAQ money and funding for the annual COMTEC facility. We start early on in the year and work with the current staffing company, which is AECOM. Once we get a contract in hand with them, we submit that to the state. We just got the state contract back for that, which is in your packet just recently. So did that technically make the 10-day window? It did not, but that was a result of not getting it back from the state. So some things that are out of our control, we can't control. We submit it in a timely fashion, but when they get to it and when we get it back, that's not always matching the dates of this board. That was kind of my example of what that would result in.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Commissioner Howard.
Just to clarify, what date did you send this over to our staff?
Originally, it was submitted, I think, a couple days beforehand, but it was not the right format. We had a recommendation letter from our architect with the bid tabs from the RFQ. We did not have the actual contract to supply to you. So that came in the day of the meeting. I know it was tentatively trying to be on the public service, then it was possibly pushed to the full board, which was a couple days later. And then that didn't come to fruition, and then it was pushed off to the following public service, or actually the finance committee on the 9th, and then it was changed to the 11th, and then the 18th.
So initially, even though it was wrong.
You had everything in hand by the beginning of the last public service meeting, as far as the packet.
Just last comment, and I agree with Commissioner Goyke. You know, our church delayed ordering doors for a week, and we did have doors on our church for 6 months because we waited a week. I know that's insane, but if we had to order them on that day, we didn't order them on that day, we had to wait 6 months to get doors for our church. And they're just basic doors, just like the one behind us or like those 2 doors over there. But, I mean, right now, there's no motion on the floor. And so somebody has to make a motion or this item dies, right? Is that
Are you done?
Yes.
Brian, you didn't answer the basic question. If this is delayed 1 week, and I know you got the pods there, give me a ballpark cost that you would have to pay for 1 more week?
I mean, I don't have an exact number for you. I know there's going to be more than likely additional cost in storage. And
Give me a ballpark figure.
probably 3,000 to 4,000 in storage costs. And that's independent of the contractor being delayed. I mean, they're already delayed 3 to 4 weeks now if I delay them. If I get approval today, that means they're going to get contract in hand possibly by the end of the week. That's going to push them another week beyond that. So instead of starting next week, they're going to start the week after. Just the way that their schedule is set up. So with the contractor, as far as delays, as Commissioner Goyke had said, you know, they have windows in their construction operations as far as staffing and availability. This could kick them, and I haven't broached that subject with them, but this could kick them into a situation where they couldn't even start 2 weeks from now, and that they'd be on another project because they're not going to wait a month or a month and a half to start this project. They're going to find other work to do to keep their guys busy. So,
But the cost is not going to go up for us. If it's delayed, they've already
very
made.
well likely it will. Whenever I have a construction project and we delay the contractor, there's always repercussions of additional costs. There's idle time, there's downtime, there's issues with scheduling on the contractors end. I don't control their schedule other than saying, yes, you're approved and go at it. means and methods are always a determination of the contractor. We set a schedule, but as far as their operations, we've held them up and delayed them from their schedule when they were planning to do the work. So pushing off a week is adding to the delays that they've already kind of accepted, per se.
All right, thank you. And the other issue is right now that with the motion to approve this to full board has been withdrawn. So if this is voted on now and it doesn't pass, it's going to go to full board anyways. Am I correct, Chair?
We need a motion. We have no motion on the floor.
We need a motion to forward this to full board, but this is not going to be an approval at
Need
this
a
point.
motion, move it to full board.
I'll put the new motion back to full board, and if it fails, then we'll just go, then we'll revote to put it to full board next week, if I have any support.
So your motion is to grant full board approval
Yes.
today?
Yeah, just like what we started out. If there's any support,
I'll
if not,
support that.
So he's gonna, I'm sorry, Chair, if I may,
Yes.
Mr. Grecki, you want to make a motion to approve this today,
as full board.
and we'll bring it to a head today, and if it fails today, we'll make a new motion. Okay, you know what, I'll support that, just to move it along.
Right.
And we vote on that, and then we go on to
Right.
the next one. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
Is that correct, Chair?
Yes.
Okay.
Motion is to approve it as full board today.
As full board today. Motion made by Mr. Gorky, I'll supported it, and we'll vote on that and then go to the next step if we have to.
No other speakers, please vote.
Motion fails 6-7. Commissioners Haw, Kraft, Perna, Sabatini, Vansicle, Wallace, and Zinner voting no.
So can I make a
I'll
motion?
make a motion to
full
refer
board
this
next-
item to full
Next Thursday.
Support.
Support.
Yes. Motion by,
Goiki.
no, Howard, second by Goike. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Okay, let's get to the easy part, 7B, C, and D.
Motion to recommend to full board.
Support.
Grot and Howard. Brian?
Item 6B, or 7B, is a revised cost share agreement. One was presented to you in the past for the rehabilitation of Powell Road from 30.5 to 32 Mile Road. This is a road asphalt paving project. The road is gravel right now. This was in conjunction with the request of the community. So this is a local agency project. Split is a 60-40 percentage, 60% on the township, 40% on Department of Roads. Originally, our cost shares are based on estimates, pre-estimates of the construction, the preliminary engineering, the construction engineering, and administration costs. There were stuff that were added to the project by the community and other requirements that added cost to the overall construction project. They were captured in the construction project. However, the community requested a new cost share agreement to represent the new dollar values. So this is a rescinding in the previous cost share in replacement with this cost share agreement with the community at the 60-40 split. Item C is a local agency contract with AECOM Great Lakes Incorporated. This is the Traffic Operations Center staffing for COMTEC. This is 80% federally funded with a 20% match to that, which would be the Department of Roads. This is an annual contract with the state that they supplement money to run the operations of our COMTEC facility. That total cost is $3,671,913. And item D, which is a contract with the Michigan Department of Transportation that we received in for the Traffic Operations Center work for the fiscal year 2025. Total cost is $4,080,000. And once again, this is an 80% federally funded program with 20% match money. So seeking approval of those three items.
Any discussion? If not, please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Now move to item 8. This is our Public Safety Committee meeting. Commissioner Romano.
Thank you, Commissioner. Good afternoon, everyone. Records and Public Safety Committee Department recommendations. Item A is purchase LDV Incorporated Mobile Command Vehicle, the amount of $797,219. I need a motion to recommend this to full board.
So moved.
Thought you make the move. Who did the support? Commissioner Howard made the motion, Commissioner Wallace supported it. And Mr. Lewis, go ahead.
All right. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I am here this afternoon seeking approval of a purchase of a new mobile command vehicle that I believe we've discussed on multiple occasions. The vehicle cost will be $797,219, and we will be purchasing the vehicle from LDV Specialty Vehicles in Wisconsin. The vehicle specifications were custom developed by specialists at LDV, emergency management staff, and sheriff's personnel working together during a site visit with LDV at the vendor's facility. The vehicle is a 36-foot step van equipped with modern technologies, making it a fully equipped and modern field mobile command center. As with our current vehicles, it can be deployed to support field command and operations at special events and emergency incidents. And the vehicle is to be purchased using a collaboratively negotiated purchasing collective agreement through HGAC, which is a purchasing collaborative that Macomb County has access to and participates in regularly.
Brandon, didn't you give us the most important one? Where's the money coming from?
The money is currently in the general fund. If you recall, I was here in July and I asked for about $818,000 to be moved from the emergency management grant fund to the general fund to facilitate this purchase. So the purchase would be made from that line item that was set up from that budget amendment.
So that money was appropriated, just sitting there now that you're.
That is correct.
Okay, let me just see if we have some speakers. We have Commissioner Hall, please.
Yes. So our purchasing policy allows for us to buy certain items off of contracts that are collaboratively negotiated through large collectives and large bodies. So those prices are negotiated and they're made available to all participating government entities. It's essentially a large collaborative doing the bidding process on behalf of local governments and then making that pricing available to. Same idea, yes. I believe so, yes. I don't want to speak for the sheriff, but as I said, we worked collaboratively with the sheriff's office to develop the specifications for this vehicle.
We support emergency management with their vehicle.
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have Commissioner Goyke.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I know they do support it because we use this every year at the Armada Fair. They come with the command center there, and the sheriff department is the only ones that use it there. So they do use that. My question is, are we keeping the older unit too? And how many different events do you bring the command center throughout the year?
We personally bring the command center out to about a dozen pre-planned events a year. And then there are obviously unplanned events, emergencies that it may need to be deployed for, long-term emergency deployments. In that vein, I would think of, say, the flooding in Chesterfield as a good example. That would have been a great place for emergency staff to work out of while we're deployed for a week at a time. You know, there are other short-term incidents that could be deployed for. So it gets used quite a bit.
So are you keeping the other one too?
We don't plan to keep the other one. I don't know that we really have a use for, it's at the end of its use, it's at the end of its useful life. That's the reason we're pursuing I mean, certainly if we found another use for it within the fleet and we could rehab it, I'm not necessarily opposed to that, but we would have to look at what we're doing with that down the road. We'll make the best disposition of it
Yeah, 'cause I
that
just
we
seen it a
can
month
for
ago,
the
and it
county's
looks in pretty good
benefit.
shape yet, and I would, I could understand new technology and stuff, but,
It's
Does a
it's
county
long in
of
the
our
tooth. It
size-
has some mechanical issues.
okay. Well, I got mechanical issues too. I don't want to get thrown away.
We have another speaker here, Commissioner Howard.
Just in the spirit of fairness, I asked this question when vehicle purchases came up before us. I know this is slightly different.
Yeah.
Still related to public safety, though. We're spending, I don't know, I lost track, maybe close, it feels like close to about $5 million in vehicles. I understand part of the reason is timing, part of the reason is tariffs, a lot of other things why we are expediting that time frame. The question I asked yesterday in regards to some of our vehicle purchasing was about us repurposing or selling that vehicle. From my awareness is sometimes when an ambulance or a fire truck is genuinely at its end of its life for a city like Warren, it is sold to a smaller body of government that might not have as many runs, might not have as many a great of a need. Is that an option that we can explore to potentially recoup some of this cost?
I think we would explore all options for the final disposition of any current vehicles that we're going to part with, to make sure that whatever that disposition is best benefits the county and county government as a whole. There's a significant lead time on the build for this vehicle. We're probably not going to, if this is approved, we're probably not going to take delivery of the new vehicle until late next year. So we have some time to figure out what the disposition would be and what best benefits us.
Thank you. My next question was, what was the lead time? So you beat me to it. Thank you. Thanks, Chair.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you. Is this gas or diesel?
Diesel.
Thank you. That's it, Chair. Thank you.
That's it. Any other speakers? We have a motion and support. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to take item B and C together. It's a budget amendment with the Sheriff's Department for Axon Tasers, the amount of $444,638.25. And item C is a contract with Axon Enterprises again for tasers in the amount of $4,430,466. And we have Captain Jeffrey McPherson here. I need a motion to move this forward.
Motion moved, pool board.
Who's so moved? Commissioner Howard, who's supported? Commissioner Van Sickle? Cap, you're up.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Jeff McPherson on behalf of the Sheriff's Office, requesting first approval for a budget amendment for fiscal year 2025 in the amount of $444,638.25 by decreasing non-departmental capital outlay expense for equipment with a corresponding increase to transfers out to capital projects for the purpose of funding the Axon Taser project. That would be the first year. For the second part, we are requesting approval of a contract with Axon to provide Axon Taser 10s from January 1st of 2026 until December 31st of 2035 in the amount of $4,430,466. This is a 10-year contract with funding available in the non-departmental capital outlay for a 10-year period of payments.
Thank you, Kevin. Kevin, just a quick question. When these tasers become obsolete during that 10-year period, what does Axon do for us?
Well, when they become obsolete, we lose, at this
I'm
point.
sorry. Well, do they upgrade them during that 10-year period, and is there additional cost? Is that included?
Yes, so there is a stipulation in here that we made sure they included, that when these are at their end of life, that they refresh the equipment with whatever is the most modern at the time and the best available to the deputies.
Thank you. We have some questions here from Commissioner Perna, please. Commissioner?
Question, how does the taser lose its life?
I have our subject matter expert, Lieutenant Conklin, here to explain all those technical questions for you.
Get tased and find out?
Can you try one of the old tasers on Mr. Romano and to see if it works or not?
Well, that's the problem. So the actual taser handle itself, it's
think about it as a mini computer in your hand. It's an electronic device, and that electronic device degrades over time. Think about your computers, your tablets, things like that degrade over time. We were taking these out in the field. They're sometimes dropped. They're in rain, snow, cold, heat, things of that nature. So Axon puts a 5-year warranty and a useful life of that product. What they're saying is that they've tested and tried is during that 5 years, they can tell you that that will be a safe, reliable weapon to be used during that time. Outside of that 5 years, they can't guarantee that the products that are inside there, the components are going to hold up and function the exact same way that they're developed to work. Therefore, it is their recommendation that you do not use it past that 5 years, and that's where you can start to take on some liability, as they're telling you this is no longer a good product.
So those units that we have that are 5 years, there's nothing that can be done to reactivate their continued life.
No, so they don't refurbish them, they don't reservice them or anything like that. If we continue to try to use them, they're outside of that useful life. We're taking on all the responsibility if something goes wrong with that product. That's where with this 10-year contract, at the 5-year mark, they'll refresh those tasers. If there's new technology out there that's available, if they're on Taser 13, and if the Taser 13 handles are $5,000 more than the current handles we have right now, we can take that new technology still at this current price. So we're locking ourselves in for 10 years at the pricing of today.
So what do you do with those old tasers?
Axon, in this contract, Axon is actually purchasing them back from us to basically be destroyed.
They purchase and then destroy them, and they're giving us an allowance for the turn-in.
They are going to give us an allowance. What exactly they do with it, I don't know if they take little parts of them off and try to use it to refurbish other parts that they do, but I can't speak for Axon exactly what they do. But they are taking them back, and they are giving us money for them.
All right, thank you.
Mexico.
We have another speaker, Chair Sabatini, please.
Thank you, Chair. So are all of our tasers expired right now?
They will be at the end.
They will be at the end of this year. So we're in a 5-year contract with Taser. So we have a few tasers that may precede that contract by 2-3 months because of other purchases we had to do to try to backfill. But one of the other major things about this is that this allows for every single deputy to have their own taser handle. Right now, we're operating without enough handles for every single deputy. There's deputies that are out there working right now that don't have a taser available to them to be used. So that's also part of this project, is we're allowing to make sure that everyone has their own taser to be able to use.
Are we changing the policy on that? Is that something new?
The policy.
I guess my question is why does every single deputy not have their own taser right now?
We just don't have, it wasn't in the budget. We didn't have the money for it. We didn't have that original purchase that we did. We didn't purchase enough, and we were using them as pool tasers where deputies were having to share. And there were some areas that, with the massive growth that we've had, we haven't had enough tasers for people that are working different spots, different special events, court transport, hospital guards, things like that.
Okay. Is this, the current tasers that we have right now, is it the same company that you're trying to get approval for?
Yes.
It is. So in the current contract, are we getting credit for the ones that will be returned to them by the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay. And is that also, in this new contract, what's the credit back? Is it built into this number, or is it a credit off of the top of this?
It is built into this contract, so it's a line item. I believe it's close to, there's a total savings. So if you look at the total savings that they took off of the actual quote, it's around a little bit over $1.3 million they've actually taken off in discounts. That actual buyback is part of that 1.3.
It is. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Van Sickle.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. Are the handles serialized?
Yes, they are.
So it's recorded who gets what?
Yes, sir.
And are there enough handles in the contract to cover the recs that are open for the sheriff's department?
Yes.
So it's not just for the sitting officers?
Correct. This contract allows for the road patrol deputies all to be assigned their own taser handle. It also has pool tasers that we use for inside the correctional facility. The corrections deputies aren't assigned their own taser. They use only, they use pool ones because there's only so many for inside the facility.
Yeah, I understand, but there's open recs to hire more officers, right?
Correct.
And we
Yes.
have enough in the contract to
This,
cover those.
this will allow for growth, and if there is massive growth to add more spots, we can always amend that contract and we can add accordingly, a la carte, to add if we needed to, but this allocates us for the spots that we're looking to fill as well.
That was my next question. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Zinner.
That was my question too, is will everyone have one now? And you explained that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Commissioner Hall.
Thank you, Chair. Did you guys negotiate this contract?
I worked building this contract, yes.
All I want to say is congratulations. Anytime you can get 1.3 million back on an obsolete project, great job.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You know, let me add to that. It's just the old adage about you can't build a house, you don't have the right tools. We got to give them the tools if we want to build the right house. And gosh, bless the Sheriff's Department for getting it done.
Could you repeat that
Anybody else want to
saying
speak?
again?
Anybody else building a house? I have a
Something in
motion.
the water today?
I have a motion in support. Please vote.
That's rich blood, man. Black walnut's expensive.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, let's go to item D. I'm going to take item D, E, F, G, H, and I. This is a budget amendment. We've got some money from the opioid settlement funds. It's an engagement center lease and utilities for $39,000. We have a opioid settlement for fund engagement center lease for $130,000. We have another one for $390,000 for residential treatment beds. We have one for jail-based peer recovery services for $1,040,000. We have the opioid settlement funds for the Increased Sacred Heart MAT program for $200,000, and we have a medication-assisted treatment programming for $1,972,890. Boy, you got a lot of money you're spending, Ms. Gasky. Go ahead.
Motion to
I'm
move
sorry.
full board.
Got a motion to move it to full board from Commissioner Kraft and supported by, what's this, what does this finger mean?
That means everybody.
Oh, and by
Just pick one.
Commissioner Hall. Ms. Gasky, please.
Good afternoon. We do have several projects that we are bringing in front of you from the opioid settlement fund to request. I'll kind of break them down. D and E is a budget amendment and a request for a contract to allow us to pay for the lease and utility costs for the engagement center that CMH is in the process of opening right now. We are assisting them with the funding for that so that they can sustain that after they are done utilizing the state opioid settlement funds that they have. I know some of you are very familiar with the engagement center, but that will allow for immediate services for those experiencing substance use related crisis, for placement and treatment if that's appropriate, and could be used as an alternative to booking to someone in the county jail, so they can be taken there rather than to the jail.
Excuse me, Ms. Gasky, I'm going to let you go through all of them, and then if we have any questions to any specific one, we'll ask accordingly, okay, if I may?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sounds
Go ahead.
great.
Continue, please.
The Community Programs Incorporated is the residential treatment beds that we are requesting a contract with them over the next 3 years. That is $390,000. This will allow us to place individuals, excuse me, from the community or those that are being diverted from the jail into a residential relapse prevention bed that don't qualify for Medicaid or Healthy Michigan funding for that program. This program is a short 10-day residential program for those individuals who have had recovery in the community before and have successfully completed residential treatment in the past. For the CARE jail-based peer recovery coaching, we're looking at a total of $1,040,000, which breaks down to about $260,000 annually. This will allow for individuals who are incarcerated to have access to peer recovery coaches to assist in planning for transition back into the community and access to resources that will be needed upon release, including treatment resources and housing if that's necessary. H and I are requesting a budget amendment to move the remaining $46,000 from capital projects into supplies and services, as well as $154,000 to increase the Sacred Heart Medication Assisted Treatment Program. This is the second increase to this contract. If you remember, when we originally started this program, it was a pilot program. It has increased exponentially over the course of the last 3 years and is now fully implemented in the jail. And as a result of that, we've seen dramatic increases to the cost of medications, the treatment services, as well as the peer recovery services that are associated with that contract, and that is provided by Sacred Heart. And I believe that's it. So I can answer any questions that anyone has.
I think we're going to let you off easy today. No, it's a good presentation. I think it's money well spent. No, he didn't go up on the board, so he doesn't get to speak. Commissioner Howell.
I'm up there. I just want to say thank you publicly for what you do. I know you work a lot behind the scenes, and I can name a handful of cities within Macomb County that are sitting on their opioid settlement funds and have not spent them. And these funds are not taxpayer dollars. These are from a lawsuit, and you are utilizing them to benefit the communities that were harmed. Particularly, I'll tell you a story of a parent that called me to tell me about a program with CARE, and they said, this program saved my daughter's life. And just seeing the work you do, knowing that the work you do is saving lives outside of, for a young child that you might never ever meet. I think what CARE does is amazing. I know they do. They may have recently lost funding in regards to some other grants and stuff, but I'm glad to see that you're working with them because they're literally saving lives throughout Macomb County. So I just wanted to acknowledge you for the work that you do.
That's great to hear. It's often that we don't hear about those things that are happening in the community. And thanks to the support that we've received from the executive's office and from you all with the board, we've had a plan in place and programs that have been implemented over the course of the last 2 years. And it's our understanding that 40%, I believe, of the counties across the state of Michigan don't even have a plan in place at this point. So in terms of, doing good work with the funds that we have and having your support for that, that's been tremendous. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kraft.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Real quick, Barb, thank you. I'm excited for all of this, obviously, and on behalf of CMH, I want to thank this board because we've been working on the engagement center for a while now. Amidst all the struggles and challenges that we're having, we're also still trying to move forward in a positive direction. And we've struck out a couple times with a few locations for this center. So I'm excited to get this lease signed and get it going for the services for the folks in our community. So thank you, Barb, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other commissioners wishing to speak? Seeing none, I have a motion and support. Please vote.
Motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's go to item J, which is a resolution, 2025-13983, a resolution deeming prosecuting attorney positions necessary and fixing salaries of assistant prosecuting attorneys and other employees appointed by prosecuting attorney under Public Act 329 of 1925 as amended. We're going to have, I need a motion to move this to full board.
Support, Perna.
Who made the motion?
I'll make the
Supported
motion.
it.
He supported it before the motion was made.
I need a motion, and then I need a
I
support.
make the motion.
Thank you. You
Goes
made
to
the
full
motion,
board.
Commissioner
Thank
Grote
you.
and Commissioner Perna. And you don't look like Mr. Leonetti, but I think we have the honor and privilege of having Mr. Biondo. Counselor, go ahead.
Thank you, thank you, Committee Chair Romano. I want to begin by thanking you, Chair Sabatini, and the BOC staff for facilitating the addition of this agenda item. I just have some brief remarks. We're asking the board to approve the resolution presented to you today. It's been reviewed by Finance, by us in the prosecutor's office, and this is connected to the $1.6 million grant that we got from the DOJ back in 2023 that this board approved, incorporated into our budget. Based on feedback we got from our unit chief, Gail Pamikov, who's in charge of the Conviction Integrity Unit, Earlier this year, she said when someone vacated a prosecutor investigator position funded under this grant, it makes better sense for our workflow needs to wait a few months, use those savings to add a assistant prosecutor 2 and a part-time office assistant because of the grant involving DNA, they're only allowed to involve themselves with DNA-related cases. Because of that limitation, this makes better sense for the workflow. And the related part to this is also this grant ends right now, September of next year. And so by facilitating this change now and then presenting to the board next year what we want to do next year, it puts us on track as much as possible to spend the full amount of this grant money before it ends right now tentatively in September of next year. Our plan is to obviously spend it all before the end of the grant, and the alternative is, because of delays in hiring processes, if that's an issue, simply put in for a 6-month extension to make sure we have the time to, in fact, spend every dollar of that $1.6 million we got in grant money under Prosecutor Lucido's leadership with $0 matching from the general fund. And so I just wanted to highlight the why we're asking what we're asking today. The new positions was effective under the DOJ modified grant award for October 1st, which is why we're asking you guys to do it today. And so with that, I believe you have all the information to make an informed decision. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We have Chair Sabatini, please.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say, just a shout out, I mean, this board always makes necessary things happen amongst Chair Romano, myself, HR, Finance, the executive. We never want grant dollars to go away. So I just want to commend the executive, all the other departments too. They were part of this process. It was just not us. But I do want to thank our board staff on this. There was a lot of heavy lifting last minute to get this done, but we did get it done to meet the deadlines, and I appreciate everyone involved with that. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. I like grant money. Bring us more grant money.
We'll do our best,
I
sir.
have a motion and support. Any other speakers on this? Seeing and hearing none, please vote.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Item 10 is public participation. This is the opportunity for public participation is for those who wish to speak for maximum of 3 minutes on any issue. Anybody in the audience who would like to speak for 3 minutes on any? Mr. Shefka, you were looking to make sure there was nobody there? Right. Thank you. Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to go to commissioners' comments. Who would like to speak? Anybody want to bring anything up? Commissioner Zenner, please.
I put these actually, Mary put these papers out for you in regard to the Janikey Omni processor, which we've talked about before. I happened to see this, and it has the information that explains, which it's real simple to read, of course, but it's interesting and about processing water, sludge, and vegetation, and it just explains it easier and how it can be used fast. And also in Harrison Township, one of the residents sent this to me. SISMA is they're going to be cleaning or working on invasive water primrose, which is an invasive species which becomes, as Commissioner Goyke explained to me, and I checked, it's very high and very wide and is an invasive species and wrecks the water and everything else. So that's coming in September, anytime now. So just letting you know and others know that it doesn't clean the other stuff, but it does. It is a real problem, as you know. I think that's that I have right now. Thank you.
On the list.
Commissioner Wallace?
Thank you so much. I will be holding a health fair at Winter Circle, that is right on Gratiot in Mount Clemens, the 27th of this month from 10 to 2. I will make sure you guys get the flyer. So if any of you want to come, you of course are all invited. We have a few different doctors, nurses, the health department, will be there. So great opportunity. And there will be a bounce house for the kids. And this will be another opportunity to support Little Daddy's Cheesecake, local small business in Mount Clemens, where one of the owners is going through stage 4 stomach cancer. So it will be just a great opportunity to support them as well. That's it. Thank you.
Good, give us a head up the day before, and I'm sure that some of the commissioners would like to attend. Anybody else who would like to speak? I'm going to close that portion of commissioners' comments. Do I need Commissioner Perna to go into closed session, or can I do that, Mr. McKee? Okay, then we're going to go into closed session. I need a motion to enter into closed session.
Motion to enter closed session.
Moved by Commissioner Wallace, supported by? No. Commissioner Van Sickle. Please vote.
Oh, gosh, voting.
Closed session.
Can we get a snack?
Thank you.
Motion passes 12-0.
Thank you. This was waived by the Government Oversight Committee Chair, but it's a resolution for 2025-14-062, a resolution authorizing entry of participation agreement in partial settlement of the National Prescription Opioid litigation and entry of state, local government intrastate agreement concerning allocation of settlement proceeds. And we just had Mr. Shapter come up, who's our corporation counsel, gave a detailed information of what we're doing, and I need a motion.
Support.
I have a motion by Commissioner Kraft and supported by Commissioner Howard. Please vote.
Commissioner Lucido, the system didn't capture your vote. If you'd like to voice vote.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes 12-0.
Motion to
Thank you.
adjourn.
I didn't bring that up yet. I didn't. Commissioner Goyke and Commissioner Wallace supported it. Motion to adjourn. Please vote.